And before we continue with today's session, it is so important that we do an acknowledgement of traditional lands. Royal Roads acknowledges that the campus is located on the traditional lands of the Cossepsum, Esquimalt, and Lekwungen Songhees ancestors and families. It is with gratitude that we now learn and work here for the past, the present, and the future of Indigenous and non-Indigenous students, faculty, and staff come together. Welcome. Just to make sure everybody's in the right room, I'm sure you all are though, but today's session is on the Doctor of Business Administration. And with me today, I have the program head, Dr. Hassan Wafai.
Hey, everyone.
Welcome. And my name is Emara Angus, and I'm an education specialist. We also have our knowledgeable enrollment team on the call. So I see Tracy is here. So if you she'll be monitoring the chat and answering any questions you might have through the chat. And we also have Nancy, who is here supporting us behind the scenes with any tech related support. So thank you all for joining us today. And just looking at the chat, I see some people from Alberta. I see Richmond, BC. I see Nanaimo. I see Manitoba, Canada. Oh, wonderful. It's great to see this. So continuing on the agenda for today, as you can tell, we're already doing the first part, getting to know one another. Welcome. So we're going to also talk about the Royal Roads University experience. We'll jump into program specific information. We'll talk about the application process and requirements, and questions are always welcome throughout. We're here, this is what this session is all about, is to give you more information about the DBA and answer any questions that you may have. Sound good? This is a good time to give me a thumbs up using the reactions feature if you're feeling good with this agenda for today. Awesome, I see a few thumbs ups coming in, thank you. So as I mentioned earlier, we are located in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. It's a beautiful place to live. It's located on Vancouver Island, so we're just kind of outside of Vancouver, just a ferry ride away from Seattle and Vancouver. Top 3 industries in Victoria are advanced technology, tourism and hospitality, education. We're one of the mildest climates in Canada. I know people from Eastern Canada might already know this, that here in Victoria, we have blossoms before the rest of Canada. It's a beautiful, mild place to live. If it snows here, pretty shocked, we don't really know what to do with it. It sits at around 6 degrees Celsius in the winter and 25 degrees Celsius in the summer. And you can go hiking, you can go biking, you can go surfing, you can go skiing and snowboarding, all on the island. It's really quite an incredible place. So if you haven't visited yet, whether it's to come and do the DBA program or just for a visit, it's really it's a wonderful place to be. So here are some images. On the top left, that's Hatley Castle. You might recognize it from movies such as Deadpool and X-Men. So we have a real castle on campus, and this castle overlooks the Esquimalt Lagoon, which is pictured in the bottom left there. It's a beautiful migratory bird sanctuary and has beautiful, beautiful Olympic Peninsula mountains in the background. It's a gorgeous place to be. And on the top right is an image of our Japanese gardens. We have gardens on campus, and we have a bunch of trails that you can hike and walk along during your lunch breaks if you're on campus for a residency. It's a great place to explore. And the bottom right is an image that we just to depict that we have been teaching and learning online for over 25 years here at Royal Roads University. So why explore Royal Roads? I know that many of you are either alum or you're looking into Royal Roads as a place to come to do your DBA. So here at Royal Roads, we are really big on first names first. And you'll notice later in today's session that Hassan will refer to the students of the DBA program as colleagues, because that is how we see people who join the program. We get to know you very quickly, and we really understand that learning is based on life and life experiences. And every single person that will be joining the DBA program will have come from a different background, different experiences, different career goals. And that's what makes the cohort so special and so unique here. And you will be making connections for life. Your cohort will be people that your colleagues, you will be working and getting to know them and staying in touch for the rest of your life. They'll be both your professional and your friend network. And we were really built differently from day one here at Royal Roads. And we're going to talk more about that as we go along. And we're also a Changemaker campus here. So what that means, it's an Ashoka U Changemaker. It's an innovative approach to education, and it prepares students as they address world problems and encourage others and act for the good of all. And with that, I am so pleased to welcome Dr. Hassan Wafai to speak more about the program and dive into it today with you.
Thank you very much, Emara. Thank you. And thank also Tracy and Nancy for supporting us through the session. So with that, hello, everyone. It's wonderful seeing you here, and thank you for your interest in the DBA program. So allow me to start with talking a little bit about the DBA program. What is the DBA program? What is a Doctor of Business Administration? Doctor of Business Administration, DBA. It's unique to British Columbia and Canada. But why is it unique? It is unique because it's a research-based doctoral program that is oriented toward applied research. So it's a research-intensive program, but it is applied research. So it's not a conventional PhD that focuses on conventional research. It's more about applied research. The other unique element of in the DBA program, it's the blended design. The blended design of the DBA program that allows you as professionals to do your doctorate without putting your career or your work on hold. That is important feature, especially for working professionals. At this stage of your career, it's not easy to really say, well, you know what, I'm going to take 4 or 5 years off from my work. I'm going to do the school and come back to work. It's not always possible. Now, conventional PhD program require you to put your work on hold in order to do the PhD program. Now, the last unique point, and I think this is the most important one, it is the hybrid nature of the program. What do we mean by hybrid nature? Royal Road DBA programs integrates the applied and professional orientation of a conventional professional doctorate with the rigor and research focus of conventional PhD program. So we would like to say that DBA program brings the best from both worlds, from conventional PhD and from conventional DBA. So program at a glance, it's a 60 credit program, like all doctoral programs in Canada. It's a 60 credit. It's a hybrid design, as we described. That means it integrates the applied focus of conventional DBA program with the rigor and research focus of conventional PhD program. It focuses on knowledge production versus as opposed to applying knowledge or using knowledge in your day-to-day operation. It focuses on producing knowledge, meaning that through the program, you will learn how to contribute to existing body of knowledge, to have your own contribution to both practice and literature. The length of the program is 4 to 7 years. As I noted, it's a blended design. Blended, that means it consists of online component, but it also has on-campus component. I'm going to describe later what do I mean by on-campus online components. So it's a cohort based. For those who really who did programs at Royal Road, they know what does mean cohort based. So you work in a cohort of colleagues. You work together through the program and learn from each other. It's a competency-based approach. It focuses on building competency, building skills, rather than focusing on, specific disciplinary type of knowledge. Here's the structure of the program, overall structure. And here I would like to explain the online component and the on-campus component. So what you see here, it's the program in a very conceptual way. The first year, you will see the first row I'm not sure whether you see the pointer here. Here you go. Thank you, Emara. So that's the first year, what we call it the foundations year. And during the foundations year, you will have 6 courses. The 6 courses, you can see them in blue on the screen. MGMT 700. These are course codes: 700, 705, 705, 710, 11, 717. And once you finish these courses, that's the first year, the foundations. Then you will start with the second phase, that is research preparation phase. That's the second line you could see, and that there will be certain milestone in this year. The third and fourth year, the third and fourth line you see on the screen, it's the research execution phase, where you work with your committee to execute, to collect data, and write up your dissertation. So this is a very high level conceptual, I would say, framework of the DBA program. Now, what you will see on our website, you will see this. And that is the detailed schedule of the program. It speaks to the same concept, right? So what you see here, you will see the courses codes: MGMT 700, 705, 710, 711, 717, and that is under year 1, foundation phase, right? That's a foundation phase where you do the coursework. Now you will see under the courses, you see year 2, research preparation phase. That's when you finish your coursework, you start the research preparation phase, you do the candidacy exam, and you have your committee. And year 3 and 4, it is the execution and writing up phase, where you will conduct your research and analyze, data. What you see here, it is the schedule for the upcoming intake that will start in January 2nd, 2023. Let me pause here and see if there's any question. I see here in the chat. Jason, how is the supervisory committee structure? Is there one primary supervisor that students work with? If so, how do you establish that relationship? That is a very good question, Jason. Thank you very much. So every student will have what we call supervisory committee. The supervisory committee consists of principal supervisor and 2 to 3 advisors. Student will have the supervisory committee sometime toward the end of the first year. The end of the first year, we will work with the student to form the supervisory committee, meaning you don't need to have a predefined supervisor to enter the program. To enter the program, you need to have initial research proposal. We will assess that proposal, and based on that, of course, with other documents, you will enter the program if your research really adds to existing body of knowledge, or it has a potential to, to do that. So we work with you again toward the end of the first year to assemble the supervisory committee. Jason, did I answer your question? Thank you, Jason. Emara, if there's any question that I missed, please.
I see one here. It says, are these courses similar in format to the Royal Roads MBA courses?
That's a very good question. The courses, the format in terms of the form, in terms of the length of the course, is a 12-week course for most of the courses. So I'm gonna get back to the that figure here, you see most of the courses, it's what you see here, it's 10-week blocks. Actually, it's a 12-week. We take 1 week extra at the end, at the beginning, and toward the end, except the 717 course. It's a self-directed course. Technically, these courses are designed to help students get started with their research. So they are less on the deadlines, and of course you will have assignment, but the focus, it's not on, deadlines, and the focus more on helping you to get started with your research. Does that answer the question? Thank you.
I have another question here. Is it mandatory for it to be a 4-year program? Is there any option for less?
That's a good question, actually. So what I described here, I described the overall structure, and perhaps I missed describing the residencies. We have 3 residency. The first residency you see in this green kind of color, greenish, MGMT A, MGMTP, and MGMTC. The third residency, it's at the beginning of the 4th year. These 3 residencies are mandatory residency. So you could possibly, I mean, if your research works as planned, you could finish after the end of the 4th residency. But normally, students really need, I would say, 4 years to complete the program. But again, if for any reason that students are able to finish before that, they will need to attend the 4th residency, and that will signal the end of their program, given that the dissertation is complete and approved. Hope that addressed the question.
And I think that's the last question for now. A few of the questions are going to be covered off in the upcoming slides, so stay tuned. I think we're good to keep going.
Thank you. So program delivery, as we discussed, we have during the foundations year, we have 6 courses. These courses are designed to help you get started with your research. 2 of these courses are about management thought and practices to bring up, to refresh your memory around organization theory and practices. 3 of these courses are about research design. So we have the research design course, the general research design course, the qualitative design, and the quantitative design. And a last course, which is 717, that's a 6-month course. It's a self-directed study where you work with one instructor one-to-one to dive deep into your area of expertise. So once you finish these 6 courses, as I explained, this is the end of the foundation year. Then you will start with your 2nd year. Now, 3 residency, I'm going to repeat that. 2 weeks residency, 1 week residency, and 1 week residency. All these residency take place in the same time. That is in February. The 2 weeks, 1 week, and 1 week. The 2-week residency is the first residency. And the 2nd residency in the 2nd year, that's a 1 week, and the 3rd residency in the 4th year, that's a 1 week residency. Now, residency is around workshops. For those who did residency with Royal Road, they will have, I'm sure you have memories around the pressures of residency and the deadlines and the classes and all this. Well, here is a little bit different in terms of the structure of the residency. So residency are designed around workshops. Colleagues will have their own, they will have offices during residency because they are colleagues, they are doctoral student. It's not about now I'm going to sit in a classroom, I'm going to wait for the professor to come inside the classroom and give me the wisdom. It's no longer about that. It's more now about I have the opportunity to present my research, to critique other research, or to receive a critique on my research. So residency, to put it in a simple way, it's a conference-like residency. in the design of the residency. It's like you attend a conference. So it's more about ensuring you have a meaningful conversation around your research. You are part of a professional, scholarly workshops and sessions designed to help you advance your research. Okay, so the key milestone through the programs, you will have certain milestone. Of course, the first milestone, I did not put it here in one of the points. It's when you finish your coursework. That's a signal that you finish the foundations year. The second milestone is when you have your dissertation supervisory committee. And thanks for Jason who asked the question. Now, you know what I mean about supervisory committee, doctoral supervisory committee. That consists of the principal supervisor and 2-3 advisors. The third milestone is, second here and on the screen, it's a comprehensive examination, or what we call candidacy exam. Now, the candidacy exam, it takes place after you complete your coursework. It's an opportunity for you to demonstrate your knowledge and your area of research, to situate your research within the body of knowledge existing literature. Although we call it exam, it doesn't have the conventional exam structure. You don't have a paper and invigilator looking at you. No, it's not like this. It's you submit a report to your committee. Your committee will assess your report, and then there will be the oral element of the exam where you will present your work to your committee, and your committee will have the opportunity to discuss with you the direction of your research. Now, the third milestone on the screen, it's dissertation proposal, when you submit your final dissertation proposal. And that's an important piece, because that's a contract that you will have with your committee, the proposal, the research proposal. Now, you will see that one of the requirements, admission requirement, is to submit initial proposal. That is, I would say, one of the most important requirements to enter the program. That's the initial research proposal. You will have a year, and I would say maybe 16 months and even more to work on that initial proposal, change it, tweak it, to build your final proposal. So you will have all your coursework, and you will do the candidacy exam, and then you will submit your final dissertation proposal. I'm mentioning this because I normally have the question say, well, you know what, I'm not sure if this is the direction I want to go. I said, it's okay. The initial proposal that is required as part of the admission requirement, it's only to showcase that you have the skills to conceptualize a research problem. It doesn't need to be perfectly precise at this point. It's only initial a proposal, and you will have around 1 or 2 years to build your final dissertation proposal. And the final milestone here is the dissertation defense, where you will present your work to your committee. There will be external examiner as well to assess your dissertation defense. Okay, who are our students? Who are our colleagues? Colleagues who join the programs are mainly working professionals who aspire to be leader in their field or sector. Let me stop here and just expand on that. You did your master to advance your career. That's the most common reason for people who do master degree, MBA, and so on, to advance within organization. But you will do your doctorate to advance in your industry or in your sector. It's no longer about organization. It's now about the industry or sector. It's no longer about being a leader within an organization. It's more now about being a leader within an industry. It's becoming a subject matter expert within your area of expertise, within your industry. So the program designed for those working professionals who have the knowledge, who have the experience to become leaders in their field and or sector that is beyond their organization. The program designed for those who wanted to independently develop original impactful research on the practice of impactful research on the practice of management. And most of our colleagues who are doing the program they do have a full-time job. Part of the requirement is that you have a relevant master degree. Now, let me just stop here and discuss what do we mean by relevant master degree. Now, MBA is a generalist, master degree. It's certainly relevant, but relevant master degree meaning that you don't need to have MBA necessarily in order to qualify for the program. You need to have a relevant master relevant to your proposed research, meaning that if you are researching healthcare sector and you have a master in healthcare, that we consider this is a relevant master degree. So relevant in relation to your proposed research. So our colleagues who are doing the program coming from all walk of life, public, private sector, we have a good percentage of colleagues who are doing the program who are university faculty that are required to do their doctorate as part of their professional, development, private consultants, lifetime researchers. So again, we really don't have a dominant category of colleagues who are coming from certain industry. I would recommend and strongly advise that you have a quick look at who are in the program right now, and that will give you a good idea about the type of backgrounds that the program attracts. And I always say that we have in the program the right people. We have the right people. That's a program that's designed for. And we are very proud of the colleagues who are doing the program. So here is the DBA 2021 cohort. That's the first cohort after COVID. I will say this is their second residency. The picture is taken in 2022, if I'm not mistaken. Student funding, and I know there's a lot of question about funding. Now, let me go through the points that we have, and then we could discuss further how this really, how students really manage funds during the program. So the first source of funding is self-funding. And I do strongly recommend that you consider to be self-funded at least for the first or second year, even though you have a scholarship. It's very important to make sure that you have enough fund for the first or second year. Internally, Royal Road offers internal funds, but I would consider it limited. Last year, I think we have 3 entrance awards. That's for students who start the program. And of course, we have more awards for students who are in the program. It depends on their research, and each award will have different focus. So we have, for example, last year awards for those who are doing research in ADI related area. We have awards for students doing research in climate change related area, and so on. Externally, I would say there are many funding opportunity. And by saying there are many, there are really many funding opportunities. I will highlight two most common ones, SHIRC and MITEX. SHIRC, it's a government body. It's one of the most prestigious funding source in Canada. And most doctoral students, if not all doctoral students, will normally approach SHIRC to get fund. But SHIRC is very competitive, very, very competitive. Now, MITEX, I will say it's a government also. It's a governmental body. It offers funds. It's, I would say, less competitive. I probably will say it differently, that we have a better record with MITEX. I would say that all doctoral students who applied to MITEX were able to get funds. It depends on their project. So in MITEX, there are different programs. The most relevant program is MITEX Accelerate. Now, what I will recommend is that to read more about external funding opportunities. I think Tracy put the website on the chat, and Emara will talk more about that as well, the website, the specific website where you have more information about external funding opportunities. During the program, once you start the program, we offer specific training, how to apply to scholarship, how to adjust your research to be attractive, and to adjust it depends on the scholarship opportunity you're targeting. Of course, that's important financially for you, but it's also very important for you academically. Those who really being able to attract funds, this is good. That looks good on their CV. That means your research is important and it attracts funds. Almost, I will say, 50% of our doctoral students have been able to get funds, whether they are partially funded or fully funded, and some of them get funded beyond the tuition that they pay, even, I mean, more than the tuition that they have to pay. As I know, there will be a very good resource for you is to look at Royal Road Financial Aid website. It's a very important resource for you. The Office of Research Services at Royal Road, very helpful as well. Once you are in the program, they will be working with you and helping you through different funding opportunity that you are interested in. And I'm trying to move to the next slide here. There you go. How to apply. Now, let me pause here for a second and see what questions we have here.
I'm looking in the chat, and any of the questions have been answered by Tracy, and I don't see any new ones since we addressed them at the last pause. But now's a good opportunity because in a moment I'll be speaking and then Hassan will be looking at the chat. So if there's more questions coming up, pop them in there and then we'll make sure to continue answering them. Do you see any direct messages, Hassan, that you want to answer?
I think I do, but I need to come back to these messages again. See here a question. Any suggestion on the topic for a research proposal for the entrance. How do you pick it? Wonderful question. That's fantastic question. So we have another webinar next week. Next week, I will call it a workshop. We'll go deep into how you build your proposal, how you select a topic, how you conceptualize it, problematize an issue that you are interested in, and put it in writing and for the initial proposal. Hillary, are there any teaching opportunity with Royal Road? There are always teaching opportunity with Royal Roads, and that depends, of course, on your area of expertise and the opportunity. But I would say a doctoral student will have the opportunity to do the instructional workshop design or instructional design workshop. That's mean the teaching workshops that we offer to our faculty. They will have the opportunity, to do that, and then they will engage in teaching opportunities, and they will have better chance, of course, to engage in teaching opportunities since they are part of Royal Road community. Hillary, hope that answers your questions. Yes, thank you. So what I will suggest, Emara, I'm gonna have a quick look at the chat and the questions, and we'll hand it over to you from here.
Wonderful. Thank you, Hassan. And as you always know, please feel welcome to add your wisdom at any point throughout the slides as I talk about how to apply, because it's always great to have your perspective on top. And I know everybody in the room really values hearing that. So let me keep going with how to apply. Everybody still with us? Actually, use the reactions feature. Give me a thumbs up if you're still here in the room. It's always nice to check in. Everybody's good? We're good with how to apply? Awesome. And as we mentioned, if any questions came up while we were talking earlier, please pop them in the chat because we'll do our best to answer them. So admissions, as we mentioned earlier, a relevant master's degree from a recognized university, normally with a minimum of a BPA or a BGPA, and normally a minimum of 7 years of relevant full-time work experience with 5 years at a management level and increasing levels of responsibility. And I also wanted to mention that admission into the DBA program is competitive. It is competitive admission, so I wanted to mention that as well. So key dates, a few of you are asking about this in the chat. So if you're interested in being a part of the next intake, which starts January 2nd, 2023, the application deadline is just around the corner here. So the application deadline is September 5th, 2022. So I highly recommend, if you're wanting to be a part of that, to start your application right now and start submitting the information that you need for your application. And I'll dive into that a bit more as we continue, but start your application now. And if you're planning ahead and you're looking at maybe this is something you're wanting to do next year or maybe the year after, we keep our website completely up to date with the upcoming intakes and the application deadline. So always have a look at our website. So all of this information on the topic of our website is there on our website. And I always recommend using the website as almost like a template or a tool that is like a checklist while you're applying, because it outlines so clearly all the different steps that you need to do and the different things you need to submit. And it is really quite straightforward and simple. So I recommend following the website as a guide. So what you're going to start with is an online application, and you can do that through our website. And there's a fee of around $131. And you'll start your application for the DBA program, and then you'll start submitting some supporting documents once you've started your application. So supporting documents look like things like official transcripts, a detailed resume. And when we say detailed resume, we mean more detail than, say, you would use for a job application, because we really want to get to know you. As Hassan was mentioning earlier, and as I've mentioned as well, everybody is very unique. Everybody comes from a different background, and that's what makes the cohort and the program so special. So we really do want to get to know you, and we use this application process as a way to get to know you And so a detailed resume, really dive into any past experience, being able to demonstrate any work experience at a management level, or if you've been progressing to different levels, please outline that in your detailed resume. And an initial proposal. We have a workshop next week, and I really hope that every single person in the room here that's interested in the DBA to please attend next week's workshop. We will be recording it as well in case you can't make the time, but we only record the first part of the workshop where we talk about how to develop your initial proposal. After the first part, where we're then talking about your proposal and you're sharing your ideas, we don't record that. We keep that in confidence, and we keep that we don't share that recording after because it's not recorded. So come next week, hope to see you there. I know Tracy can pop a link in the chat about the upcoming event, and I will be sharing out an email with the link as well, encouraging everyone here to register. And in addition, we do ask for 3 letters of reference. So what we want in those letters of reference is people being able to attest to your intellectual curiosity, ethical behaviors, and independent thinking. So people that you have worked with, or any professors or anybody in that professional network, that's who we want the letters of reference from. Hassan, do you have anything else that you'd like to add around kind of what you like to see in an application?
Thank you, Emara. I think you covered very nicely. The only things I would like to highlight is the initial proposal. That's a critical element of in your application. We really give it a lot of thought, and we read it carefully. Every file will be adjudicated by 2 faculty members who look at the proposal. We probably will be reaching out to you once you submit your proposal to, if we need more information. Now we will discuss that proposal piece more in more detail next week, but I think I would say that is a critical element. And as Emara said, the resume, I would say resume, I would call it CV. Your CV should be detailed, and a part of the proposal, toward the end of the proposal, you will tell us how your research is relevant to your career and what we could add to your career. The writing sample, I wouldn't say that is required. It's nice to have, but if you don't have it, it's fine. But we probably will be asking you if we feel there is a need for that. But generally speaking, the proposal will speak to your writing skills. And if we feel there's a need for more evidence, then we will ask for writing sample. Interview, I would say almost all shortlisted candidates will be interviewed at some point of the process. The key point here, it's a competitive admission. It's a long journey. So we make sure that it's a right journey for you, and you are also well supported, or you will be well supported through the journey at Royal Road University. Over to you, Emara.
Thank you, Hassan. Thank you for sharing your insight on that. And I hope at this point in the session that you understand that we are here to support you. We are really here to answer your questions. We're here to walk you through the process if you need support with that. We want to see you succeed. So if there's anything that you need help with, whether it's kind of more in-depth program details, or if you have questions that are very specific to you as an individual that you don't feel like asking in the chat right now, but would like to have answered, that's when you reach out to us directly. And we, Tracy will pop the contact information in the chat so we can have a conversation, whether it's through email with you or even a one-on-one virtual or a call. So absolutely, we have campus and student services available. We can talk about more detail around admission requirements, and we can also connect you with faculty or alumni. As you can see, we have a lot of diverse alumni on our website there, and we can always connect you with Hassan as well through our enrollment office. So absolutely don't hesitate to reach out if you want some extra support. And here's as well the contact information. So if you are a domestic student, you want to reach out to learn.more@royalroads.ca. And if you're from abroad and you're wanting to come study in Canada, you want to reach out to learn.more.international@royalroads.ca. And this goes to our enrollment team, who will be best able to help you with any of your questions. And this deserves a slide of its own. We want to see you next week at our DBA research workshop. So it's going to be next Wednesday, August 10th. It's an hour and a half long and starts at 9 a.m. Pacific Central Time. And it's one of my favorite sessions to host. I really, really enjoy being there and really getting to know the people who attend. So hope to see you there. And I'll be sharing out a link by email as well. And you can register now too. And now I'm going to pause for questions. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. I'm going to have a look at the chat. I know, Hassan, you've been looking at the chat as well. So if you see any that you want to start answering right now, feel free to jump in.
Before answering a question, I wanted to comment about on the next week workshop. I mean, what we will have we call it workshop because it's a two-way communication. You can see now we are presenting a PowerPoint slides to you, and then we ask you for your question. The workshop next week workshop a little bit slightly different. We will still have some slides, but we will be asking you to share your research ideas. And that is the part where we will stop recording. So you feel safe to share your thought with us, and we will provide a comment and feedback as we discuss your initial research ideas. Now, I've got a couple of questions here on the chat and would like to highlight them. Evans asked about, he started the proposal. He started working on the proposal, and he asked whether there's a fast track for that. I think, Evans, I mean, if you started the proposal, if you submitted the proposal, that would be great. We will start working on all the files very, very soon. I wouldn't describe it a fast track, but I would say we will get back to you very soon, as the deadline is approaching right now, the deadline for the application, which is currently September, right? The other question is from Ezra. Ezra asked how important publication is for admission. I mean, if you are publication, that would be fantastic. Of course, I mean, that's a plus. If you have publication and you could have it, you please reference that in your CV. Of course, we will check that. Publication. We will check how we will check the publisher. So please reference that publication in your CV. Chris asked how many spots are available, and also Tony asked a similar question. What's the acceptance rate for the program? I would say we know cohort size is between 12 to 18. That's the size of cohort. It's and the focus is not on having the full size. The focus is on having the right people in the cohort. Again, this is a long journey. It's not a master degree. You do it 1 year and you walk on the stage and that's it. It is a master. It is a doctoral program. So we're making sure that we have the right people. I mean, but by right, it's not just we are selecting. No, it's a two-way communication again through the adjudication process. We want to make sure that we are able to support you through your research, and we are able to support you I mean, as you advance your research. So if you have the full application, we will provide comment and feedback, and we'll probably reach out to you. Now, acceptance rate, I wouldn't. I don't like to comment on that at this point, but it depends. It depends, and we don't really look at it again as we are selecting. Colleagues to join the program. No, we're making sure that we are able to support you through the program. Hope that addresses your question. Thank you, Jason. Thank you very much. Thank you. Can we get some sample of initial proposal? I mean, next week I will share example of research problems but we wouldn't share examples of proposal. That's not something we will be doing. And but we will, I mean, we will explain a possible structure. You feel free to structure your proposal the way you feel it effective. But yeah, I mean, next week we will discuss that possible structure for your proposal. Hope that address your question, admin. Any other question? Okay, I hear see Sket. I was just wondering if Frances teaches any of the classes. I work with her extensively in my MBA, and I'm wondering if I would be working with similar professors again. Frances, great. Frances will be, I mean, all faculty member would be working with you, not only Frances. And that is the I would say the exciting part of the DBA program. You will meet all faculty members, not just one faculty member. So for example, one of the courses is divided into 10 weeks. Every week you're going to work with a different instructor. So during residency, you will meet different professors and different colleagues, including Frances as well. So thank you for the question. Is GMAT, Tony asking, is GMAT or GRE optional or mandatory? I would say if you have it, that would be nice to have, but it's not a requirement, an entry requirement. Okay, so you're welcome to reach out to me if you have any question about your research, the research itself. But if you have a question about the process, I would rather connect with Tracy or Emara. They have more knowledge about the process more than me, so they will be the right person to help you throughout the process. But if you have a question about the topic itself, the research itself, I'm happy to address it. With that, colleagues, I would like to say that we do here at Royal Road understand that this is a big investment. It's not about financial investment only. It's a social investment. It's a time investment. It's a big investment. So this is why we are connecting with you at this stage. We're telling you that we are here if you need any help, and we're happy to support you through the process. And again, that support, it's to make sure that you and we both are on agreement on the next step. With that, Emara, over to you.
Thank you so much, Hassan. I know everybody in the room really appreciates all the information that you provide, and thank you for your willingness to share so many details about the program. And I hope to see everybody at next week's session. Thank you all for coming today. Thank you, Tracy, for all of your support in the chat, and I hope to see you all soon. Take care and have a great morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where in the world you're joining us from. Bye for now.